Hey guys, what's going on? It's your boy Khan TDK, Mr. So Real, and believe it or not, I am back with another commentary pretty much a day after the last Real Talk video that I put out. And the reason is because of the comments. It seems like my potential Real Talk video has sparked quite a bit of comments from a lot of people. And the consensus from what I can tell is that people believe that the game is dead. Now with year 2 kind of slowly coming along with no real date in sight, I'm going to tell you guys why I believe it's a little bit premature and a little bit early to write off The Division if you're a fan of the game. Now, if you've hated the game and you don't like the game and you haven't liked the game and haven't enjoyed the game for quite a while, then yeah, it probably is dead to you. But if you are one of the people who consistently played the game and stuck with the game, then I will say to you, don't let mass media tell you to either give up on the game or to stick with it. You have to make that decision based off of what you see in the coming future. So anyway, without further ado, let me get into my reason as to why I have not written off The Division just yet. Alright, so getting into this commentary video, the reason why I'm really making this video, and I usually don't like making these videos period, but the reason why I'm making another one is because PJ kind of asked me straight up. He said, Khan, Mr. So Real, how long do you think the game has got? Now, I wrote him a pretty decent sized reply, but I know that a lot of people are not going to, you know, kind of filter through all of the comments and read through everything just to see what I had to say. And as I thought about it while I was writing it, I thought, you know what, this is actually something that I think a lot of people really need to hear, because before YouTube, I think a lot of people put things into the kind of if a YouTuber says it, it's kind of something that we really need to listen to or take heed of, because it may or may not be true, especially when it comes to Division YouTubers who may have the ear of some of the developers. Now, with that being said, I know that a lot of people have watched videos and seen that a lot of YouTubers lately have been very negative towards the game. They're saying that it's dead, it's dying, it's on the way out, forget about it, go play Wildlands, go play something else. And while I do not disagree that you should be playing something else, I will always say that variety is the spice of life, and having a bit of variety is always going to make things a bit better, or they're going to expose the faults of games that don't really cut the mustard. And with that being said, I'm in a pretty unique position where some of you who have followed my channel for a while kind of know that I generally try to be as honest and upfront about things as I can be. And to those of you who may have just found this video or may have just found out about me, you will find out that I really try my best to be as straightforward and upfront as I can be. Now, the thing that I will say is the reason why I have not specifically given up on The Division is because they have changed the game quite a bit. And compared to the game that I played back in the early summer, maybe springtime, and the game that we have now, it is very different. I'm sure if you watch the potential video, you could see from the gameplay that with The Last Stand, we had actual teams fighting in a zone, and we had snipers, we had people who were running around trying to flank. We had everything going on, explosions everywhere, and The Last Stand is a lot of fun. Now, I will not discredit that people were cheating in Last Stand, and that had to be patched, and soon enough, within a week, it was patched. So if the problem had persisted for, you know, months at a time, like a lot of the bugs and glitches that are still in the game, then I would say, yeah, you know what, screw this game, it's done. They're not caring about the community, they're not caring about things, but they actually are listening. And I can say that I believe, and I may be misguided in this belief, but I do believe that some of the comments and suggestions that I have given throughout the time that I've covered the Division have been implemented into the game. Things like being able to tactically control areas and zones. Those things are not completely fully flushed out yet, and I think that's why the game needs to have a new game, which they may be working on, but we can't really say for sure. But those kinds of things where in the Dark Zone, with a structured PvP mode like the one we have now, you have teams taking a position and being able to defend it, and it's not just, I'm gonna run up to you with a shotgun, bang bang bang, and you're dead. Now that kind of stuff does happen in Last Stand if the team isn't careful and they don't focus down the rushers. So to really get into it, I think that tactical play can make its way into the game. It just depends on what the developers decide to do. Now the other main reason, and this is pretty much the main reason why I haven't exactly put the Division under the rug yet or throw it in front of the bus, is because they did mention in their anniversary live stream that they were going to have seasons, and these seasons would have kind of game-changing modes for how the game would play out. And I suggested something similar to this a long time ago, and I think that if they can implement this correctly, it could add a lot of variety into the game. The main reason why I think a lot of people don't like the Division, and myself included, is because they have such a large area for gameplay, such a beautiful landscape to have these different interactions and encounters, but they just don't. It's so barren, it's so empty, and it feels like you're fighting the same enemies over and over again without thinking, and it's just a bore. But could you imagine, and I'm playing devil's advocate right now, could you imagine if you were in the open world and during a particular season they said Rikers take damage from a shotgun with this type of maybe attachment, or this type of shotgun with a type of mod on it or a talent on it does an extra amount of damage. So you could go into certain areas and really clean up and wreck shop if you have a kind of shotgun with that damage, or you can only deal a certain amount of damage up at a certain range or something like that. They could implement all of these types of modifiers into the game that would really change the way that the things work out. Imagine if they had certain enemies similar to the Legendary Edition difficulty that prowled certain areas of the map, and they could only be harmed after you kill another enemy that's being guarded by those enemies. So one enemy would pretty much be almost invincible, but if you took out the other enemy that's maybe behind them or taking cover, then after that enemy is dead, the first wall kind of spongy tank enemy would be susceptible to damage. Having this kind of thing in the open world would say, okay, well, I don't want to go down that street because I don't feel like being bothered with that enemy, or I can't take them on. But if they had some kind of reward in that area, then it may be worth something. Another idea that I've always pitched around was that what if they had certain parts of weapons, maybe have an exotic weapon that you have to do a quest for. If you had to go into a certain area of the Dark Zone and face certain types of enemies, or a certain enemy, or have this kind of rotating barrage of enemies, and if you could clear that, you get a part of a quest line that's done, and then as you completed the quest throughout the season, to somewhere within week 2 or week 3 in the season, you could get that weapon. And then if you didn't make it, or you missed a week or something, they had another rotation of that goes around. That could be a lot of fun for people. I am saying that I haven't given up on the game because there's still a lot that is unknown. But I'm trying to stay positive about things, because if you really think about it, in the past, Massive have not been straight up about all of the things that they've been hiding. They've had a lot of material that they kept quiet, or that they were working on but didn't really have the ability to say, or they wanted to keep these secrets. And the fact that this entire year 2 thing was a leak means that a lot of things weren't really set in stone and weren't done. And to me, the idea of seasonal, I guess, combat modifications would really make it something interesting, something fun. Having difficult enemies that are in the mix for the open world, not only in regular missions, I think could really spice things up and turn the game on its shoulder. And I think really if they had a lot more of that and they brought that into the game, even without story content, they just have so much map and so much area that's unexplored. And if they put things in those areas and made it have quest lines that have you go into those areas and do things in those areas, it could really bring in something that people would like. And I'm hoping that they do decide to do something like that in the future. Now, whether they do that or not is, still something that remains to be seen. And if they don't, and they don't bring something refreshing and new to the game players who want to play the game, then I would say the game is pretty much done. And that is my opinion. It's going to need something new. It's going to need to really turn itself over and reinvent itself, make the gameplay fun, make it interesting. And the PR department is going to have to work their asses off to make sure that we get the information the right way at the right time with just enough hype, and the execution is going to have to be flawless. If they can't pull that off, and if they can't do it, you've got other games to play. So with all of that being said, leave a comment in the comment section. Let me know what you think about this. Would you be interested or even remotely thinking about coming back to The Division, or have you completely written it off and said, you know what, I'm done with this game, that's it, I'm done, I'm never coming back, forget them? Or would the introduction of different modes, special modifications, special requirements to kill enemies or interact with enemies and take them down, and quests that spanned more than 10 minutes, would long quests that give you a guaranteed reward, no RNG, a guaranteed reward or guaranteed blueprint or something like that, would something like that interest you and make you want to continue playing the game? And do you think it could hold you over for a year? You guys let me know. What do you think? I am Khan, TDK, Mr. So Real. I'll catch you in the next one. Take it easy. Peace.